They threw you into fire, thinking you would burn. They pushed you into darkness, convinced you would never see the light. They whispered lies, spread doubt, and waited eagerly for the moment you would crumble. But here you are, still standing, still breathing, still unbroken. They underestimated something that most people never understand. They underestimated the power of silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not submission. Silence is preparation. While they laughed, while they mocked, while they celebrated what they thought was your downfall, you were building. You were building patience, resilience, and a quiet storm that no one could see. They underestimated you, and that was their first mistake. They expected tears. They expected excuses. They expected a broken spirit. They watched, confident that each word they spat, each slight, each betrayal would shatter you. But reality is always different from expectation. You did not break. You did not falter. You did not run. You survived every late-night doubt, every whisper of fear, every shadow of their judgment. And in that endurance, something powerful began to grow within you, something unstoppable, because they see only what they want to see. They see weakness. They see hesitation. They do not see the quiet fire you are nurturing within. They do not see the storm brewing beneath your calm exterior. That is your secret weapon. In the beginning, you felt small. The world seemed enormous, cruel, and unfair. They called you foolish for daring to dream. They laughed when you dared to rise. But something deep inside stirred, a voice you barely recognized whispering, "You are not meant to shrink. You are meant to rise." So you began. You began to watch, to learn, to understand that the world would only ever see what you allowed it to see. They tried to cage you in the narrow definitions of who they thought you were, but you refused. You refused to be a character in their story. You became a silent observer, a quiet strategist. Every obstacle they threw, you transformed into strength. Every insult they aimed at you, you molded into armor. Every betrayal, you turned into wisdom. They thought your silence meant submission, but in truth, your silence was the first step of your revolution. Imagine the still waters of a lake, calm on the surface but beneath. Currents stronger than the fiercest storm are pushing and shaping, ready to rise. That is what they never understood. They never understood the depths of your resolve. And then the shift began. You noticed it first in the way they hesitated, in the slight uncertainty creeping into their eyes. The confident sneers began to falter. The certainty they carried so proudly began to crack. The very people who had mocked you, questioned you, even despised you, started to fear you. Did they really think you would stay broken? They saw strength in the quietest gestures. They saw power in your composure. They saw focus in your calm. And it terrified them because now you were no longer reacting to them. You were creating a new reality. You were shaping a life they had not anticipated, a life they could never control. They underestimated your silence, and silence, when wielded correctly, is louder than 1,000 words. It was in the midnight hours that you became unstoppable. While they slept, you were awake. While they doubted, you were planning. While they settled for comfort, you were chasing mastery. You transformed pain into purpose, loss into lessons, and every no they handed you into fuel for a roaring fire. Do you remember the nights you thought you were alone? Do you remember the moments when giving up felt easier than fighting? Good, because that is where your power was born. You are the storm they feared. You are the wildfire they could not contain. You are the hurricane that rises quietly, only to leave everything changed in its wake. You learned that true revenge, true victory, is never loud. It is not screaming. It is not proving. It is simply becoming everything they wished you could never be. Every achievement, every silent triumph, every moment of peace is a dagger to their doubt, and it feels better than any words of validation they could have given. You have built yourself a crown, not from gold, but from every insult they ever threw at you. You wear it effortlessly. It does not weigh you down. It only shines brighter with each act of indifference, because you learned a truth they will never know. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who has nothing to prove, and you have everything to live for, not for them, not for their approval, but for yourself. Did you ever notice how people who try to control others often fear those who cannot be controlled? They underestimate those who stand still yet move mountains in silence. And now, you are that person. Remember the fire, the one they tried to extinguish. It burns still, but now it illuminates your path. It warms you from the inside out. It protects you. Every trial, every betrayal, every moment of doubt fanned it into a blaze that cannot be ignored. And now, every step you take lights the way forward, not just for yourself, but for anyone foolish enough to follow your example. They underestimated the quiet ones, the observers, the ones who never complained, never begged, never demanded. They thought silence was empty. They thought your stillness meant weakness. But silence is where legends are forged. You are no longer concerned with proving them wrong. You are no longer shackled by their expectations. You are no longer waiting for permission, validation, or acknowledgement. You are a force of nature, a presence they cannot ignore, a story they cannot rewrite. And they watch, helpless, as you thrive, as you conquer, as you ascend higher than they ever imagined. Did they ever think you would forgive them? Did they ever think you would find peace while they remained trapped in their bitterness? You did not just survive, you transcended. You are the calm in the storm, the fire in the darkness, the silence that screams louder than 1,000 lies. So here is the truth you must carry forever. They underestimated your silence. They underestimated your patience. They underestimated your resilience. They underestimated your power. But their underestimation is your greatest weapon. Every day, remind yourself that you do not need to shout to be heard. You do not need to fight to be feared. You do not need permission to rise. Your silence is your strength. Your calm is your rebellion. Your life is your masterpiece. Walk forward, unshaken, move through the world like the unstoppable force you are. And remember, the best revenge is living a life they could never imagine for themselves. They underestimated your silence, and now they will never forget it. You are unstoppable, you are unbreakable. You are the storm they never saw coming. Every step you take now carries the weight of your victories, silent but undeniable. Every choice you make is a testament to the power you cultivated quietly while they doubted. You have risen from the shadows of their contempt, from the ashes of their disbelief, and you have built something they cannot touch. Every failure they celebrated, every time they thought you would fall, became a brick in the fortress of your resilience. You are untouchable because your power is not in what they see, but in what they cannot comprehend. Every word they spoke against you, every action they took to weaken you, every sneer and smirk has now returned as strength in your hands. You did not just survive the storm, they are the storm, and you are the calm at its eye. You did not just endure, they are the fire, and you are the sword forged within it. They underestimated the quiet ones, the ones who never announced their presence, the ones who prepared while others played. And you, the one they dismissed, have become the embodiment of their deepest fear. A life lived on your terms, untouched, unstoppable, undeniable. Your silence is your art, your patience your canvas, your resilience the brushstroke that paints a masterpiece they will never understand. And with every day that passes, you grow more, stronger, wiser, unshakable. You have mastered the art of calm in chaos, clarity in confusion, and peace amidst turmoil. You have taken every scar and turned it into a story, every wound into a lesson, every doubt into a declaration. They underestimated your silence, but you never underestimated yourself. This is your era, this is your rise. This is the moment where everything they thought they controlled slips from their grasp. You are the silent thunder rolling across the skies of mediocrity. You are the unseen force shaking the foundations of their arrogance. You are the proof that silence is not emptiness, patience is not weakness, and endurance is not defeat. They underestimated your silence, and in doing so, they gave you the greatest advantage anyone could ever have, the element of surprise, the secret weapon of self-mastery. the unshakable certainty that your life belongs to you and no one else. Walk forward now, knowing that your silence has spoken louder than any insult. Your calm has defeated every storm. Your presence has reshaped reality. Your life is a testament to the power of quiet perseverance, relentless focus, and unyielding belief. Let them watch, let them question, let them fear, because nothing they do can reverse what you have become. They underestimated your silence, and now you are unstoppable, unbreakable, and unmatched. You are the storm they never saw coming, and the world will remember your rise long after their echoes fade. They underestimated your silence, and now, in your quiet victory, in your unshakable peace, in your unstoppable presence, you are everything they never imagined. You are alive, you are thriving, and you are free. Free from doubt, free from their judgment, free from the chains they tried to place around your spirit. Your silence was never empty. It was preparation. Your patience was never wasted. It was power. Your endurance was never unnoticed. It was your transformation. They underestimated you. And you, my friend, have risen to a height they cannot reach, cannot touch, and will never understand. You are the storm. You are the fire. You are the silence that conquers all. You are the quiet force that moves mountains without a single word. You are the calm in the chaos, the light in the darkness, the proof that patience, endurance, and silent resilience always prevail. They underestimated your silence. They underestimated your patience. They underestimated your strength. And in that underestimation, you found your power, your voice, and your freedom. You did not need to speak. You did not need to prove yourself. You simply became everything they could never imagine. They underestimated your silence, and that silence has made you unstoppable. That silence has made you untouchable. That silence has made you the force of nature, the storm they cannot contain, the fire they cannot extinguish, the presence they cannot ignore. You are unshakable. You are unwavering. You are everything they never thought you could be. And now you rise higher than ever, stronger than ever, freer than ever. They underestimated your silence, and in doing so, they gave you the greatest gift imaginable, the freedom to become everything you were always meant to be. You are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. You are the storm they never saw coming. You are the fire that cannot be contained. You are the silence that conquers all. And in this silence, in this calm, in this quiet power, you have found the ultimate victory, the victory of self-mastery, of resilience, of patience, of endurance. They underestimated your silence, and now you are everything.